So I do agree with the premise that, sure, there are guys that have shot better against the Lakers over the last like few years. It's felt like they're getting like the best shooting performance from a team of. We continually hear like this player hit their season high in threes against the Lakers. This team hit their season high in three against the Lakers. Like this has been a thing for a bit. At the same time, I think from a process perspective, they are way too passive with their 3-point defense. And again, I don't think this team is talented enough defensively to be able to pick and choose how they're defending the 3-point line. And I think, again, it can lend itself to some bad habits with them where it's like, okay, we're helping off a couple of these guys, but all of a sudden, a shooter comes off the bench and then they start defending that guy the same way they were defending the non-shooter. And to be completely honest, like in the moment, I was like, Charlotte is hitting some ridiculous shots right now. And certainly the LaMelo one that Jason was talking about, Con Knipple hit a three with Jake LaRavia was right there, hand up, contested. That was a tough three. They had a couple in the left corner in front of their bench, certainly hit some ridiculous shots. But going back and specifically in that early third quarter, which is when I thought the 3-point shooting was the most ridiculous, most of those shots were open. And like the Lakers, it was a lot of we're going under a pick and roll for some reason, leaving LaMelo wide open for three. We're not rotating out to shooters. Miles Bridges got one open in the corner. There was a couple driving kicks to the right wing that were wide open. And I'm like, it was a lot of like the fake contest where the guy gets the shot up, then you contest after the shot's already up. So it kind of like looks contested, but it's not really. So I thought it was a lot of just bad 3-point defense. And this has been a thing. And JJ keeps trumpeting shot quality, expected field goal percentage. That only gets you so far because right now they are one of the 5 worst 3-point defenses in the NBA. They've been that pretty consistently most of the season. And you can keep talking about the expected field goal percentage, but I'm watching them get torched at the 3-point line. And I don't like, there might be nights where teams just don't make them, which is fine, but they're turning teams into good 3-point shooting teams. I think that's a big issue.
I'm so glad you pointed this out, Jovan. I think focusing on shooting variance is one of the most loser things that I see around the NBA. And I've seen teams do it. I've seen fans do it. I've seen people in the media do it. And like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like shooting variance isn't part of the equation. It certainly is. It's essentially proven statistically that it's part of the equation. I just think it's pretty far down the list compared to other controllable factors. And like, yeah, like there's a simple like albatross stat like from last night. The Hornets hit 7 off the dribble threes. That is the most they've hit in a single game this entire season. They average 3.5. They on the season shoot 32% on them, which is a pretty bad percentage. They made a bunch of them last night. But like you can watch the game and see that their ball handlers are so comfortable versus us compared to the way they look against other teams around the league. And if like anybody who's ever played basketball knows that matters, when you're dribbling up the floor and you feel like you can get into your bag and you're not going to be disrupted, you can go to moves that you practice 100 times a day in your shooting workouts and it feels supernatural and fluid and easy. Whereas when Lou Dort's up in your shit for 60 feet and he's disrupting your handle and you're trying to get into that shot, it's completely different. And the other, like even the actual tracking metrics for shot quality to me are heavily flawed because of what Jovan just said. I've been hearing a ton of buzz surrounding sports cards lately, and so I'm very excited to announce our new partnership with Fanatics Live. A great place to go if you're trying to get into sports cards. Fanatics Live is an awesome place to go to get in on the fun of ripping sports cards. It's an app where fans buy and rip cards together 24/7 with live on-screen hosts guiding the action. Let's check out the Fanatics Live Instant Rips pack. All right, here we're ripping an NBA pack. Let's see what we got. Here we go. First card, we got Bronny. Bronny's here. Might be playing a little bit more if the Lakers don't figure things out here pretty soon. So what's cool is all I have to do is go down to collection, and there's my card right there. I can manage everything within the app. It's got my estimated value. I can sell it right now. I can have it sent to me. All of it is managed through the app. You're ripping cards on the streams. You're managing your collection within the app. You can even get an instant offer for an app credit equal to 90% of the market value of the card. You can also do card breaks on here. You can collect what you want without buying the full box. Spots in a break usually correspond to teams. When you get a team, You then get all the cards from that team that come out of that box. You can do pick your team breaks where you choose which spot you want. Or you can do auction breaks where the spots are auctioned off starting at $1 and teams get randomly assigned. New users can get a free instant rips pack with a graded card to try it out. Use the link in the description to download the app and join your first stream to get your pack. There's a huge difference between a hand being there at the top of the shot when you're dealing with professional basketball players that literally have been shooting contested shots their entire life, and they don't even see that hand as long as they can get into their muscle memory, versus when a player's actually there disrupting something in the rhythm of the shot, whether it's disrupting their feet, disrupting their gather, getting that contest early enough to where their release like tweaks a little higher or something gets funky on their follow through. There is a fundamental difference between a contest and a contest that actually bothers a shooter. And that is not tracked by a camera over the top that can't differentiate between a player that's there and a player that was actually doing something to disrupt the shot early in the routine. And so even the tracking data for shot quality, I think, is heavily flawed. And so I just think focusing on that as a team is loser behavior. You have to do something to get a player to miss. You have to do something in the controllables to force that, rather than just being like, oh, well, we followed our game plan and the Hornets can't make pull-up threes and they made them tonight. I was watching them. LaMelo was like, he was making Instagram reels last night. That's easy work for him.
Yeah, this is, one of the worst things about the first year with Russell Westbrook was that the 22 season was it felt like.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
I'm sorry. I know we've been super negative, and I know we have collectively all repressed that year. It did not happen. But one of the things that I do remember from that season was how much fun opponents had playing offense against the Lakers. You could see it every single night. Teams went, yes, we're gonna run our stuff and everything's gonna work, and they had a good time. I thought the Hornets had a very good time last night running their offense. They knew they were going to get the looks that they wanted. They knocked him down. LaMelo's taking one-legged shots in the corner and knocking him down. And some of that is, hey, you're hitting some tough shots and you tip your cap. But a lot of that too is Lakers defense. Marcus Smart made the comment that we got to figure it out. It's not easy. Shooting goes through the roof against us. When you play for the Lakers, you're always the hunted. He said, well, if it's a every team gets up to play the Lakers type of situation, the Lakers are being hunted. In this case, if the Lakers are the deer that's being hunted, it's the deer that's wearing the bright orange vest this time and not the hunter. They're making it easy to hunt them by not really contesting much on the perimeter, not doing a good enough job preventing teams from raining down threes on them. And a lot of it, I thought there was a clear athleticism deficit. But I'll tell you guys, the part that really bothered me last night was not just the defense, not just going under. Why are you going under screens in the third quarter against a red hot Hornets team? It's not one, not two, multiple Lakers players that we saw in a game where you knew if you switch off defensively at all, it's going to be an open three. And I mean, mentally flip the switch off. We saw LeBron stop and stare at Miles Bridges while he shot a wide open three, and he tends to have big games against the Lakers. We saw DeAndre Ayton hang his head, slowly jog back. Hell, I saw Luka stop at half court. Running back on defense, stop at half court to walk, and the result be an open corner three that the Hornets buried. I thought the Lakers, it wasn't just scheme-wise going under on things. There were also moments where the Lakers didn't play hard enough. I don't think it was a non-effort game, but the moments where they did switch off, boy, the Hornets, they punished them for it. In fact, we saw the Hornets, every time the Lakers stopped to complain to a referee, they went flying down the court. They went, oh, there's our opportunity. They screwed up. And the Lakers just played right into that. That was what frustrated me perhaps the most, was seeing how many times it was effort that contributed to the Hornets getting an open look.